Hello, and welcome to the official video one. For the record, it is Sunday, the 5th of May, 2024, and I just want to start off by saying I am truly just sending you so much love, no matter who you are or where you are on your journey, and I really do appreciate you taking the time to want to see what is going on in my life and the journey that I'm on, as I know that this next challenge that I'm going to be going through is definitely going to give a lot of insight into what the fuck is in our bodies, and basically how to work through all of it. So yeah, my name is Natasha Stevenson and I am starting a 40-day fast tomorrow. It feels so surreal that the day has finally come. I have honestly been planning this journey since January this year. So I'm just so grateful and glad that it's finally happening. Now, before I sort of like start with the details, I guess, of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, I just want to start off by saying that what you're going to be seeing in the videos to come over this whole process is strictly my own journey. Okay? It's my journey. And this is something that I'm wanting to like document just for my personal development. I'm gonna be completely honest. I did try to do this yesterday and I literally spent fucking like 7 hours just fucking around because I just felt like, you know, I just kept getting frustrated with myself because I'd be on a roll and then something would happen and then like, anyway, you kind of get the point. So yeah, this is just a challenge. I'm challenging myself to just show up and basically share my story, my journey. And the other thing that I want to point out is that I'm not giving medical advice whatsoever, okay? I am not preaching it, and I just want to make that really clear. This is purely my personal journey. I've done a lot of my own research into this fast, what I'm doing, and my journey has actually been over like 4.5 years long now, with gaining more knowledge and awareness about holistic health. And this is kind of where I'm at now so that I can get to the next phase of me, basically. So yeah, if you are wanting to do any of this, do at own risk, and I'm not preaching medical advice. Do your own research, reach out to coaches, healers, like just do the work. Now that the disclaimer is out of the way, let's just like talk about what the fuck is Natasha, this crazy bitch, doing now, and more importantly, why. Hello Hades, come up here, come say hi, quick, good boy, come say hi. This is Hades. You'll most likely see him in a lot of my videos because he is going to be my support puppy. All right, back to the planning. So long story short, yes, the journey of planning this started in January, when I was watching my dead set idol, Rani, God bless her. I was watching her journey through this. So she did a 70-day fast, with the Master Fast protocol, and watching what came out of her and just like the whole process of like, you know, who she was in the beginning versus like the end, honestly, just like so much change. And you can obviously see why, because she was just getting all of this stuff out of her. So as soon as I was like watching her journey, everything inside me was like, bitch, this is what you need to do. Everything that you have been doing over the last 4.5 years to rewrite your health has led you up to now watching these videos and being given the answer. And I truly believe that this is what it's gonna take for me to be the person that I know I can be. And yeah, be a fucking energetic match for, you know, my dreams and desires and everything that I want in life, because it's literally as simple as that. So yeah, the processing journey began. I only really just started thinking like a week and a half ago, like, oh my God, I'm actually about to do this thing. But I haven't felt nervous or anything like that, just because I just know truly, like deep down, that this is like what I am meant to be doing. And I guess that feels good knowing that. And so the only other thing that I have found challenging, which is what I spoke about at the beginning of the video, was basically the whole point of like me documenting this journey, which is why I do have my computer here. I'm not gonna lie, I have like wrote down notes, because yesterday I was just freestyling it and it just wasn't working. So I just need to accept that I need a little bit of help during this fucking process. So yes, I am gonna be referring to my computer just for notes, just so that I stay on fucking topic, because one thing I love to do is go on tangents, which I basically have for the last like 10 minutes. And so that's why I have like wrote down notes. All right, so I'll explain what I'm doing. So tomorrow is liver and gallbladder flush day. Now I'm doing the Dr. Moritz protocol, and just to give a brief description of what I'm doing. So I've had to prepare myself over the last 6-7 days for this flush. Now what it is you have to have either apple juice or tart cherry juice, either 1 liter of the apple juice or 240 mils of the tart cherry juice over the 6-7 day period, just so that the malic acid in the juice helps to soften the gallstones and make the passage easier. And then tomorrow will be the day that I actually do the flush. So that involves drinking Epsom salts and water. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. And then grapefruit juice and extra virgin olive oil. And so basically with that flush, it helps to just remove shit from your liver and the gallbladder. Now I'm going to go into more detail about this whole process as we go along. But for now, that's basically like what I'm doing for the liver flush. The reason why I wanted to do the liver flush prior to this cleansing fast is because the liver is basically like the first organ, and it is the organ of detoxification. So the healthier that the organ is, the better the better it's going to be for me during my 40-day fast. My phone just keeps running out of space, so I'm gonna have to get that sorted, because I've got another 40 days to document this whole fucking thing. So anyway, where I left off was talking about the master fast protocol, and to just give a brief description of what that is, I'm gonna be basically doing the same thing every single day, and what that entails is I have a kidney tea and like herbal tinctures. So these two go together. The kidney tea is just different herbs that like obviously support your kidneys. And then there's herbal tinctures. I've got 16 different bottles of these herbal tinctures, and they're all basically helping to support like my organs and just detox and all of that type of thing. So I need to take that twice a day. And then I will also be taking a binder, which is activated charcoal, psyllium husk, and bentonite clay. And then what I will be drinking over the whole fast is grape juice, Concord grape juice, and lemon juice mixed together. And I have to do about 6 to 10 liters of enemas a day. And that's basically the protocol for, and dry fasting. So dry fasting is very, very important during this whole process. So dry fasting is basically not coming into contact with liquids like whatsoever. So that means like no shower, like no brushing teeth, nothing. And so over the 24 hours of the day, 12 hours needs to be dry fasting, 12 hours I can be in contact with liquids. And so basically like what this whole protocol does is just pulls everything out. It just gets everything out. So we're talking the parasites and pathogens, so like the worms, the mucoid plaque that the worms and shit live in, candida, heavy metals, mold, any type of toxins and things that you can think of. I am targeting these motherfuckers and getting them out. Okay, so that's basically just like a little rundown of what my process and cleansing and detoxing is going to be over the next 40 days. I've also set up like a little schedule for myself to, you know, do all my spiritual practices and all of that type of stuff in the meantime too. And I will definitely share what I'm doing and everything as I go along. But now I want to just talk about like why the fuck am I doing this? Besides the fact that, you know, I'm targeting the parasites and all of that type of thing, because that is a huge component about it, like from, you know, from all levels. It is going to be helpful on a physical, a mental, emotional, and spiritual level. But once I started really like sitting down with myself and essentially asking myself, okay, so but besides wanting to get all of this stuff out, why am I choosing to, you know, document it and so on? And I guess I honestly am just sick and tired of my own fucking bullshit. I am so aware. I have a lot of knowledge, have a lot of understanding about why certain things and agendas and X, Y, and Z are all put in place. And don't get me wrong, I love myself. I've done so much work on genuinely loving myself unconditionally. But now this is a respect thing. Like, I don't have a lot of self-respect in the sense of saying no to a lot of things, which is why I want to just fucking call myself out on the bullshit, all my excuses, all my programs, even the limiting beliefs, like all of it. It's time to just really get fucking real with, you know, myself and where I'm at, just shining the light on my shadows. And yeah, I'm like just trying to figure out like how much I, you know, want to share and what's important, I guess. But I guess I want to highlight the why of documenting. So my whole like spiritual awakening and all of that happened about 4.5 years ago. And I think it's probably like 2.5 years ago nearly, was when I basically silenced myself off social media. And it was because the things that I believed in and I was so passionate about and that were helping me to, you know, go through my awakening and all of that type of thing, I was using my Instagram as an outlet to essentially wake fucking everyone else up. And I realize now that whilst doing that is good, it's also gonna have the good and bad with it, you know, as everything with the fucking paradox of life. It's just what it is, okay? And I guess something that I've struggled with over my whole life is confrontation and I guess people just fucking being cunts to me. I don't know, I just don't do well in like those sort of situations. I just go like, I'm definitely go into freeze and I'm just like ugh. But I have done so much work on over the last 2.5 years to just really not give a fuck. And I feel like I don't give a fuck, but I'm also not sharing anything. And so that's why I'm taking this opportunity to just, you know, I guess speak about it and just bring it to the surface so that it's known, I guess. So yeah, there's obviously been so many things that have happened like throughout my life that have kind of like shut my voice down, but this one thing in particular has really highlighted a wound for me. And you know what? I'm grateful for it because I've been able to work through it. Now, what happened was there was a massive protest in Australia during when the thing that goes in your arm was coming about. And you best believe I was at that fucking protest. I was there and I ended up going on live on Instagram, never gone on a live before in my life, and was just like showing how many people like rocked up and everything like that, which we know now that the media and everything just completely lied about a lot of things. Anyway, it's not about that. But the night of and the day after, I received so much hate. Like my DMs and my DM requests were flooded with people basically telling me to go kill myself, that I should headbutt a knife, and just like all this stuff because I was at the protest. And receiving that much fucking hate, oh my God, my body went into complete shock. It went into fight or flight. And it's honestly been the reason as to, I would say, a lot of like my emotional health problems. Because what I've come to realize is that, yes, and I will get to the whole physical side of calling myself out on like bad behaviors and everything like that, there's truly an element of like emotion stuck in the body that causes ailments as well. And so when I look back at this journey that I have been on, I can see in my body, in like everything, that it's been a result of me just shutting up and staying quiet and not speaking my truth. And fuck, like that was something that was really, really hard for me to go through. I just felt like I was just like misunderstood, and yeah, to receive that much hate over something that is just like so important about us having like our own free will and our choice and everything like that, I was just like mind blown. And so I decided to delete my social media, and I guess I started going on like a deeper healing journey than what I had already been on in the last like 1.5 years prior to this happening. And there was a lot of soul searching involved. I definitely had to like crawl through the fucking depths of the darkness with that, and I don't feel like I've fully like validated myself with how shitty like it actually made me feel. Yeah, like sometimes I wouldn't even like want to like leave my house, and you know, I was doing a lot of emotional eating, and yeah, that obviously has just like led to, I think I gained like 10 kilos within maybe like a month or something like that. Like everything just changed in me so quickly. And due to at the time already sort of like coming off the pill and my body trying to like work itself out and everything, it was just like a massive shock to the body, and me just being in this fight or flight response, my digestion stopped working. Like it was just like a ripple effect of so many things. And basically what got me out of it was just knowing that I'm the only one keeping myself in it. And it's so fucking simple. Like it's literally that simple. Like you have the choice to get yourself out, and that's all it is. But when you don't have that awareness, it's very hard to understand that. And so yeah, fast forward like 6 months, I ended up doing some therapy. So I started doing a lot of shadow work with some coaches and all of that type of stuff to really just like dig in deep as to my reasons of I guess being the way that I am. And that's been such a beautiful experience because yes, I have felt all of this pain and this trauma and everything come up. It's really helped me to just understand why I have been the way that I am, and essentially just to fucking let it all go, you know. But in saying all of that, I guess the other thing that I want to call myself out on is just like the numbing that I would do unconsciously. So this is where it gets tricky, because you know, I sit here and I say that like I've got this knowledge and awareness about like, you know, who I am and what I'm doing and this and that, but there is such a big element of unconscious behavior going on. And in the last 6 months, I have truly been able to see that from a bird's eye view, which is why I am committing myself to this journey, and just wanting to change and better myself. And so yeah, I've just done a lot of shit to my body, just so much disrespect, and you know, a lot of partying, a lot of drugs, like fuck me dead. I honestly at one point was just like a functioning drug addict. I never craved it or anything, but if drugs were there, I was having them. Okay. And I guess I was always in an environment where that was just like normal as well. And something deep down inside me just fucking loved it too. Like I loved doing it because essentially it was taking me out of my reality, and I didn't want to be in my reality sometimes because that was when I had to feel all the feels and really get real with myself. And you know, at that point in my life, I'm just like, don't want to see it, fuck that shit. Yeah. And so like during these years of me like constantly doing drugs and all of that type of stuff, this is also during a time where I am studying to be a health coach, and like got all these visions and goals as to, you know, how I want to help people in the future with living their best lives, and like preaching health and wellness and all this type of stuff. And yet like I'm making up excuses as to, you know, why I'm partying and fucking like dating gangsters and like all of this shit. So I'm basically just like I'm telling myself that like I'm this holistic girly, and then there's like that shadow aspect of myself that's like fully in the underworld and hanging out with bikies. Like I don't even know if I wanted to say that, but yeah. So oh god, this is just like a lot of information. And so if I kind of like touch on that subject, my ex-boyfriend, yeah, was a very big gangster, and essentially that is the reason why I ended up going overseas for 6 months last year. And that's also a lot of me going overseas and kind of like processing my behavior, really just kind of showed me like, what the fuck are you doing, Natasha? Seriously, what are you doing? Like, you keep sitting here and you keep saying that, like, you know, you want to do all these things like with your business and all that type of stuff, and yet you're basically stuck doing the same thing every day. And there was also a certain level of like control involved in the relationship and everything like that. And yeah, part of me deep down just, I liked being in it. And so I'm thinking like, what the fuck do I really want? And the universe ended up showing me what I don't want. And I guess that's the nicest way to say it. And I'm just so grateful for the whole experience, because it got me overseas for fucking 6 months, and I really started doing all of like the inner work again, like proper. I ended up going to India for a month. I was in an ashram for a full month, basically just doing the same shit every day. And that brought me back to myself. And I did a lot of cleansing and detoxing in the process. And honestly, I was just a completely different person. And then from India, I've gone to Dubai, and I basically like threw out all of that shit that I had accumulated and went back to old habits, and was just like eating all the fucking things, and partying. And, you know, once I was there, I realized, okay, you had your little blowout. You definitely don't want this for yourself anymore. Which is why I ended up like going on a journey again. So I went back to Thailand, went to India, did the same thing in India again, felt amazing. And then I went back to Dubai, but this time around I was actually good. So I think I was just like, I want to be in this environment and still do my holistic shit. And I did do that. I really did do that. And whilst that was happening, that was when I came across Rani's videos about her doing the fast. And I was actually watching the video, I think like on a full moon, and around the full moon is when the Parasites actually have their little full moon party and they go fucking crazy. And I think, like, I genuinely feel that these things that are in us have like a certain intelligence about them to lower our frequency. And basically what I mean is, whilst I was watching this video and telling myself that this is what I was going to be doing, they all just started like going into survival mode, I guess. And I tell you right now, something like took over me and just controlled what I did for that night. And I went into like a spiral of like binge eating like a motherfucker, to the point where I was so bloated. I have photos, so I will share them. I literally looked like I was like 7 months pregnant, and I was in so much pain, absolutely so much pain. And I ended up drinking this stuff that I got whilst I was like in Oman to help with constipation, stuff like that. So I drank some of that because I was just like, I just need to sort this out, thinking it was going to work like instantly. It worked the next day when I was about to get on a 14-hour flight back to Australia. So yeah, that definitely highlighted, okay, this is a poor behavior and an unconscious behavior that you have of like the binge eating cycles, and enough is enough. And so yeah, that's kind of like where I was at when I came back to Australia. So the video cut out again, so I think I'm just gonna quickly round this video up just by kind of like explaining the health side of things for myself. So long story short, like, you know, my parents never knew about like what was in our food and water and all of that type of stuff. So I've had like, you know, a whole lifetime of just like eating shit and drinking shit water. Then on top of that, when I was 14, I went on the pill. I was on the pill for literally 8 years, and fuck me dead. Like, I think a whole other video needs to go into the damage that that actually does to us women. And coming off the pill, I didn't get my period for 2 fucking years, and that was just like a whole journey within itself. Ended up finding out that I had PCOS, which explained why I would have like acne flare-ups, which I'm currently having now, due to the juice that I have been drinking over the last 6 days. It's got a lot of sugar in it because it's bottled juice. And yeah, just like, I was partying since I was like 14. Parties like every single weekend. And then, you know, once I turned 17, I started going out clubbing. And yeah, just haven't always been in a non-party environment. I've just always been in it. And just like poor eating habits as well, a lot of binge eating, a lot of different diets and all of that type of stuff. And I guess just like the emotional side of things of just like not honoring, yeah, myself and respecting myself and all of that type of thing. So yeah, I am here to rewire all of that. I'm here to rewire all the damage, all the trauma, all the pain, all the suffering, the poor habits, just everything. I'm rewiring it. Just being grateful for it, for everything that it has taught me. Because if it wasn't for my first skin journey, I probably might not have went through my awakening, because it's literally the reason as to why my eyes started opening to everything, because I went down all the fucking rabbit holes because I first started with the medical system and the food industry. And yeah, one thing's led to another, and now I'm here. And yeah, it's just this, I just know that this is what I need to do. I need to get this shit out of me, and I need to just choose myself to say no, and yeah, bring my body back into homeostasis so that I can thrive and so that I can be an energetic match for the things that I want in my life. Because I have been doing so much work, so much inner work on myself, and I can visualize and see what my potential is, but I am staying at this low frequency because it's comfortable and because I obviously have all of this shit in my body. And so enough's enough. I'm done with the excuses. I'm done with the limiting beliefs. I know what I truly want for myself. I know what type of work I want to be doing. I know like the type of partner that I want to have. I know the relationship that I want to have with my friends and my family and all of that type of stuff. So now I need to become that person. I need to put in the work to be that person for that to be energetically aligned. So yeah, this is the beginning of the journey, and I am just really looking forward to seeing, you know, what comes up, seeing all the changes, and yeah, every day just choosing to respect and honor myself and what I need. So yeah, I don't know what else to say, so I'm just gonna leave it before my phone actually cuts off again. But I hope I was able to, yeah, explain everything and give you a little insight into, you know, my world and all of that type of thing. So yeah, all right, let the journey begin. Hades, come say goodbye quickly. See you soon.